Good evening, and welcome to another Kwame McPherson show. And today is a special show because we got with me today. I've got basically a number of people who we're going to a discussion with about a phenomenal event that's coming up next week, Friday, the 23rd of December. It's called Masses, and it's organized by a very dynamic person, someone I've known for quite a long time, by the name of Courtney Brown. Articulate, intelligent, a visionary. That's what I call him, an entrepreneur in his own right. But he's a phenomenal person, and I'm pleased to call my friend, a very good friend. I've known for years. Played football together. Can you imagine? So we played football. But yeah, so to my left, I'm going to introduce who I have with me today. I've got to my left is Courtney Brown.
Hello.
Courtney, and I've got Keely.
My name's Keely Bennett. Hi.
And I've got Rebecca.
Hi. Keely Burns. Jessica Plummer.
Welcome to the Kwame McPherson show. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you for taking the time out actually to be here for me to actually have this interview with you. But first, the man of the moment, the one organizer of this phenomenal event called Masses, as you can see right here, the Masses is called Masses. Courtney, talk to us.
All right, thank you for that introduction. Very kind. But yeah, yes, my name's Courtney Brown. I'm the founder of Father to Father, and as you said, and I'm alongside obviously these wonderful ladies. And yeah, like you said, next week we have an event called Masses, which stands for Music Against Stabbings, Sexual Exploitation, and Shootings. Reason why I've come up with this idea, I like the word masses because it states people coming together.
Yes.
Which is one thing that I really push for. What's going on in our community doesn't take one organization or one person. It takes a collective, the masses, to come together. And one of the other things that I was looking at is how music influences our young people. Okay. And that's why I believe it's called acronym, Masses, that's Music Against Stabbings, Sexual Exploitation, and Shootings.
Okay, wonderful. So just give us a background about Father to Father.
All right, Father to Father is an organisation that works with, supports fathers, mothers, and the community. When I say supports fathers, we have our regular Fathers Room meeting where we as fathers come and talk about fatherhood, but also talk about, men's feelings, because we do feel as well.
Yeah, we do.
We do feel as well. Yeah. And so it's good for men to talk in an environment where it's non-judgmental, but can feel supportive as well. And so, we meet up every 6 weeks, and that's the Fathers Room. Okay. We also run something called the FACES, which stands for Fathers and Children Engagement Service.
Wow.
Which is where we look at work with young people from the ages of 11 down. And it's, even though it's got the title fathers, we use fathers in that as male role models. So we get involved in play. So the young people learn through play. Wow. And again, that's faces, because our children are the faces of the future. Yeah. So we get engaged in that.
Wonderful.
Masses is all about, it's about helping us fathers set up a mentoring program next year. So again, how we can support families in the community. Of late, I've had quite a few mums ask me to mentor their boys. Right. And, I'm only one person, so I need to, I want to create a scheme where we can go out and support the mums in the community and parents.
So what brought you to create Father to Father? What was it? I know it. Just give us a background. No, it's a background. We need to know who Courtney is and why Courtney created this organization.
Okay. In a nutshell, absent father, knew him, but emotionally wasn't connected. We wasn't connected. I grew up with that. Bought into, I wanted my dad's love. So I thought the only way to get it was to become like him.
Yes.
Negative. Got involved with a few things in the community and that. I'll be honest. Thought I was a little bad boy, innit? And then, but I realised that wasn't me. Yeah. But then I bought into another alter ego. I bought into this being a promoter. Right. Out champagning it, different women, everything, living it up. Thought I was living it up, but that was at the jeopardy of not being engaged with my two older boys. Started working in the school and started seeing how starting speaking to a lot of my young people in the school now, fathers, you get me all emotional now, sorry, how fathers, how they were coming into my office and talking about the non-engagement of the fathers for whatever reason, but it was affecting them.
Yeah.
You could see they was emotionally upset. It got me started thinking about my journey with my father and everything, and I had to make a decision and take responsibility then for, the part I played or didn't play in my son's upbringing. So what I done is apologise to their mums first of all, because those women brought up my boys, so I had to honour that. So I apologised to them, and I then apologised to my boys, and it wasn't easy, and thinking about it now, I had to humble myself because they were angry. They were angry at me, and I could have done the father thing. Remember who you're talking to? My father. But you know what? Their anger was their pain. Their pain was their anger. So I had to humble, take it on board, and then I was blessed because then both my boys came and lived with me, my wife, and their two brothers, and it allowed me to be the father, the best father I can be, and also then forgive my own dad.
It's interesting, and I share something with you too, because when I was growing up, my parents split, and I grew up with my father, and that was painful enough because I started taking on mannerisms of my father, not realizing that's what I was doing. I was becoming an adult, and I was thinking because the story that I got at the time, I was blaming my mom, my mom for everything basically. But then I had to go for counselling, and that was brought to me by a young lady who thought that there's issues that I need to deal with, and so I took the responsibility and went for counselling. And the counsellor dropped the $10 dime and said, "Boy, listen, do you know that you're copying your father?" It's like, oh wow. Subconsciously, I'd taken on his mannerisms, his behaviours, and that's what I was demonstrating and displaying, and. But then when the realization came, I went back to my father and said, "Well, Dad, went back to Jamaica, because that's where he was."
Yeah, I think it's very important that I say though that my mum was my backbone.
Yeah,
so I don't take away what mums are doing out there. My mum was my backbone. She done the best job, but for some reason I just still yearned my father's love
and that's funny, and like you were, I had to rebuild my relationship with my mother, which was the flip side of what you had. So and then I went back to my father and said, "Boy, Dad, there's aspects of what I have taken up that I love the same way, but I come to recognize those things." And I know I'm a better man for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I can say the same for you. Yeah. It's awesome because you're doing some phenomenal work.
Thank you. But like I said, I always said it, I'm sorry, but you know what? I give the Father Almighty.
But you're the vessel, you're the one doing it, so that doesn't mean anything. So we're working through you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to move on to our first beautiful guest. Introduce. So now you've got this message now. So you've got these wonderful women here and.
Yeah. So yes, like you said, I've got Father is in conjunction with Kelly Bennett from Parents' Voice. Keely Bennett.
There's two of us.
Keely number two. Yeah.
Keely from the Crib and Parents' Voice. Done a lot of work with this awesome lady. So I'll let her explain.
So my name's Keely, and I am one half of an organisation called Parents' Voice.
Wonderful.
And our organisation is based around empowering parents.
Okay.
Around early interventions, around spotting early signs if their children are involved or about to be involved in anything from gang affiliation, sexual exploitation, domestic violence in teen relationships, and cannabis and its association to mental health.
Right.
So we provide a non-judgmental, holistic space for parents, both male and female, to come and talk with other parents about the signs of spotting whether their child are involved in stuff and giving them tips to empower themselves and to spot early intervention so that they can get in there and stop stuff.
So how did you become involved? How did it? Was it a personal story for yourself, and that, or is it? Or you just felt that it's something, a passion that you had?
Yeah, I've always been into my community. I've always been aware that young boys are dying, hurting each other. And I linked up with a lady who runs this youth club that we're in right now called The Crib. Her name's Janet. And through her, we had a community meeting because a young boy was murdered who used to come to this youth club. So we had a community meeting where we had ex-gang members and people from the community, parents and professionals as well. And out of that, we decided that professionals are trained, young people are trained, but parents are never ever trained.
That's true.
And if you want to become a foster parent, you have to get training. You can't be a foster parent without getting training. So we felt that parents were getting left out. And so we developed this program based around 4 tiers, as I said: sexual exploitation, gang affiliation, cannabis and domestic violence. And we just provided a space for parents all over the community. So we go to different community centres, we go out of borough as well, and we just have parents in a room talking, and we have professionals as well. So if we're doing a gang affiliation session, we'll give you our tips and our knowledge, and we'll share amongst each other, but we'll also have a professional in from the gangs unit to discuss with you about how things go. So we found that parents are empowered, not by us, because I'm not, but by each other. So a group of parents will sit in a room and think they don't know anything, but can empower each other. And so that is phenomenal to watch. Not our bit, just their bit, when they start gelling together and sharing knowledge. And a parent, especially mothers, are often detached from what their kids are doing, because we have a process where when our children leave primary school and go to secondary school, which is the major transitional period that a lot of parents miss, and we end up giving them keys, phones, and they can get home by themselves and do their own, because you're not little anymore. That's where we're having the problems, where parents are letting go and distancing themselves, and they don't know what their children are doing. And I meet a lot of parents, unfortunately, I work with a lot of parents who have lost their children. I want to get them before they lose their children. I'm tired of meeting parents who are in that situation. I want to meet a parent who said, oh my God, I read your booklet, because we've got an app as well. I read your booklet, I looked at your app, I got all the information I needed, and I was able to, when my son came home with 2 phones and a brand new pair of trainers, I was able to identify and get the necessary help.
Awesome.
So that's all right.
Thank you. I'm going to talk a bit more about how to become involved with masses, though.
Yeah.
But let me go on to beautiful Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello, Rebecca. Good evening.
Got a bit shy now.
A bit shy now. So how did you become involved? What is it that you represent, and who you represent? And
I'm a director of the Charlie Burns Foundation, which is in my nephew's memory. My nephew Charlie was murdered to knife crime in 2014, and we, as a family, didn't want Charlie forgotten, and didn't want anyone else going through what we have gone through and are still going through as a family. It doesn't get no easier. It doesn't get no. You don't always wake up one day and think, oh, everything's fine. It's
still there.
Yeah, it's still there. So I sat and spoke with Keeley and Charlie's dad and family members, and we decided to come up with the Charlie Burns Foundation. And I sort of have got projects going, and the main 2 projects that we're doing is Postcode Parents and Postcode Pen Pals. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit about both. Postcode Parents is where parents come together every week. There is a lot of parents here that come that have lost children, parents, grandchildren, grandparents, but also it's the parents come there that have got other issues, and we try and help out with anything we can. Like, it might be, I've been to solicitors, I've been doctors, but if they need a bit of support, we'll go along and support them in what they need. And then going back to what Keeley said about, I've always thought it was really important to catch the kids a lot younger than when they get to 13, or not even that, 11, 12, 13. So Postcode Pen Pals starts from the age of 8.
Okay.
And it's a 3-year plan. And they write to each other. It's in the literacy hours, so it comes under the curriculum. Okay. And they write to each other, so they start off having their own pen pal. And then it goes on, they start to meet each other, and then they start doing trips with each other. And the whole point of it is, so when they go on to secondary school, they know a wider amount of children than they do in their...
Awesome.
They're less likely to hurt each other. I've personally been through an experience of my son was surrounded when he was younger, just started secondary school, and they mugged him and they pulled out a screwdriver and they was going to stab him with it, but one of the boys who was just at the back just happened to come and see what was going on, was with all the kids, and he knew my son from primary school, and he said, you're not doing that to him. So from that, to losing Charlie, it's something that I think it needs to be from a younger age, getting the children connected and trying to make friends, build bridges, and getting the community how the community used to be.
Can I say that's a phenomenal idea? It's an awesome idea, and I think it's it's like it's almost like common sense, but it's
Free.
and it's free and it's free. But
Free.
it's
We do
it's
internal post.
no, it's an amazing. It's one of those projects that start on the ground. They can see being national in terms of how many young people it can actually help. It's a phenomenal idea. Wow.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. But
And it's,
I must say that Rebecca, from I came into the room, Rebecca's energy has been like, any project that I'm doing, I want Rebecca on my team. But thank you, Rebecca.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to move on to Keely number one.
Hello.
Hello, Keely. Hi, Keely. So, tell us about yourself and why you want to be a part of Masses and what brought you here.
It's to bring the community together, as Rebecca said, because I lost my son to knife crime in 2014 by he was associate of his.
Right. Wow.
And Rebecca used to feed him and look after him. He's obviously been in my house, and one day just decided to take my son's life away. And that's why we met Courtney to try and see if we can build bridges against for communities, and try and stop other children going through what we're going through.
Wow. I must admit, how did you meet? How did you meet, Corinne?
Well, we met. I was promoting obviously Masses through social media and that, and then
Through Colette.
through
wasn't it?
Colette, Colette
introduced
from
her.
Frampton introduced us, and then I went spoke to Keely on the phone first. Then I went and met her. We sat down, we met, and then and I think it's good to meet people face to face, because then you can really feel their passion and and whether they believe in the vision, and both ladies we met and they both believe in vision, so that's how it was.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm going to move on to Rebecca. I'm going to say Rebecca. See, you got Rebecca in my head now. Jessica.
My name is Jessica
Hi,
Plummer.
Jessica.
I lost my son, Shakwan Sammy-Plummer, to knife crime on the 30th of January 2015. And what I used to do was to just sit home, not knowing what to do. But by talking, I went on, what was it, a march? Yeah, and I met a lady in there, and the lady introduced me to Rebecca and Keely. And Rebecca rang, and she came over to my house, and she said to me, it would be good for me to open a foundation in memory of my son, because I said to her what I wanted to do was to help other children, and she helped me with the, how will I say, of the foundation, which I did in March, 16th of March this year.
Okay. Well,
And I don't know the ins and outs about it. I'm still learning.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but
They come along.
together,
Yeah.
I've joined with the Charlie Burns Foundation, so it's the Charlie Burns and Shaquan together, and we're trying to make a change. But Keely rang, Keely number one rang, and she said to me, Jessica, are you going to Courtney's dinner and dance? And I said, what dinner and dance? I don't know. And she said, I've messaged him, but I didn't get a message back, a response back. So what I did, I went onto the Facebook page, and then I messaged him myself.
Okay. Oh, wow.
But I didn't get no response.
That's
I
good.
rang her back.
That's good for you.
And then I said to her, Keely, I didn't get no response back. But one day the house phone rang, and it was him.
Okay.
And then I spoke to him, and I told him what I wanted to do to help other children together with the Charlie Burns. And my aim is to go out there and help other children to, like Keely said, to empower them and to make them know the implication of carrying a knife, because the pain is still there. I've got two other children. I've got 21-year-old. She just graduated this year, September. From university.
She's graduated.
She did biochemistry.
Wow.
So she graduated with honors in science.
Well done. Wow.
Her 2-1, and I'm proud of her.
Of course.
Although most children, because of the loss of a child, sometimes they go the wrong way. But Chantel said, no, Mommy, I'm not giving it up. I'm going to fight back for my brother.
Wow.
And funny enough, Chantel, I find Chantel did way better in her second year, into her third year, compared to how she was before, because She never gave up. And then I've got little Andre. He's not really coping properly, but he's still trying. He spends most of his time inside, but I'm just there to encourage them that they cannot give up. We need to carry on fighting.
Definitely.
I've been through one of the worst one where I had to go back into court again on the 1st of December this year.
Wow.
Because the boy put in an appeal against his sentencing. But with the Almighty Father, his help and support, he never got it. But I did not like it because the thing I want to get out there is to let the parents know that you must not feel ashamed. I know we do feel bad that our children are out there and they're doing things, but we need to learn. There are organizations out there willing to help them, and all they need to do is to contact somebody and the person will tell them, instead of holding it all in, because our children are outside there.
Right.
We don't know what they're doing,
true.
but they have to remember they're still representing us.
Definitely.
Like I said to them, I raised 3 children. I never raised them for myself only. I did for the whole world, because they still have to go out there. I gave the police officer one joke. I said to him, Andre was really small. Andre was about 6, and he said to the teacher, my brain said it's tired and I don't want to do no work. And he sat in the classroom and refused to do the work. The school called me. I was cooking. I turned off the cooker, took a taxi and went to the school. I was sitting in the classroom like a pupil myself, but just to get Andre to understand that, remember, son, you're not learning for the teacher. You're doing it for yourself. And by me sitting with Andre, he was able to do his work. And I had him to apologize to the teacher. And I apologized to the teacher on his behalf too. And then I set out and went home. And everything was fine. And since then, I haven't had a problem. You know, they still get into little fights and stuff. But at the end of the day, we mothers need to educate them better.
Wow.
I'm still trying my best.
And for each other, yes. Wow, thank you, Jessica. That's wow. It's always encouraging to hear, like I said, the stories that you have in terms of letting other people know these stories and how you can help someone else by just saying what you just said. That's great. So Courtney, back to the main man.
Main group.
Main group.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've had these beautiful women, strong women, supporting you and got your back. What do you hope to achieve with Masses? What do you intend to?
Well, I would like Masses to be a brand moving forward to next year, but I think the ladies really explained it well about all of us coming together. All of us looking after each other's children, like that big family. I believe a lot of music influenced the young people, especially negative music. So with Masses, I want to be able to, or we want to be able to create like a mentoring program where young people can write positive music and be able to showcase it at a Masses event. Right. Again, I'm a firm believer in that the community has the resources and the riches in the community to self-fund ourselves. And this is what this is about as well, using an entrepreneur business style to raise the money so we can support ourselves, and not rely on government and funding this, because what my honest opinion, I don't think they care, to be honest with you. I'm being true. I don't think they, I don't, that's it. I don't think, sorry, I don't think, and so we have to do it for ourselves. I've been to a lot of meetings where, organisations are squabbling over funding and that. And I remember being in a meeting once and somebody asked me, what do you think, Courtney? And I said, well, we've just been arguing over funding for 40 minutes. Another young person could have died in that 40 minutes. Straight. So we need to get away from that, start communities starting to come together and start working together as staying in each other's lane, having strategic plans, coming together and moving forward. And that's what I would like us to do within Masses, So that's my
vision. Envision it getting massive, big. Well, obviously it's massive.
It's Masses. It says it there, Masses.
All right, so tell us about Masses for next week then. Tell us about Friday next week.
So Friday next week, we're going to have some, entertainment from young people. We're going to have these organisations. You're going to hear more from the organisations and what they're doing in the community. I would have to say that there's 2 organisations that aren't here that are supporting it as well, which is Skype Alexandra House, who deals with sexual exploitation of young ladies as well, and a band of brothers who mentor first-time offenders. A band of brothers, great organisations. So they will be there next week as well. Like I said, it's a dinner, show and dance, and it's about celebration.
People can buy tickets.
Yeah, people can buy tickets. To get your dinner, show and dance tickets, you have to go on Eventbrite, type in Masses Black Tie event, and to get your tickets.
It's going to be in the stream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people know it's going to be on the stream, so they'll see it.
Yeah, and then if you want just your party tickets, just the after bit, then it's with the organisations and myself. You can contact us to get those. Yeah.
Let me just go around for one last comment from wonderful women.
So I wanted to say, because I was wondering, people that will watch this might think, why are they all women? Where's the fathers? And I have a big issue with that in terms of I do a lot of sessions and I don't get enough males there. And what I have come to realise, so somebody's going to be looking at this and think, oh, it's just mums, that we probably haven't got any fathers. I've got a husband, she's got a husband, she's got a husband. And I think men deal with things different.
Yes.
There's some men in this group that are traumatised by what's happened to their children. They're supporting all the way. They're just not in the forefront. So I don't want people to have this illusion that there are no men. And even for parents who don't have another partner, trust me, there's someone in your community or someone in the church or someone somewhere that you can get a role model for yourself. They don't always need to be the father or daughter. And I don't want to give off that impression that there aren't men behind us, because usually you've got the men in the front and the women behind. But in this case, these four power women here, there are men behind us supporting us as well. So I don't want to give off that impression that it's just mothers.
No, well said. No, well said. That's well said.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I'm just a bit lost for words at the minute. I'm going to be really honest. I'm just really looking to the event, and also like to say thank you to Courtney for getting us involved in it, and hopefully we can move forward and do a lot more stuff together, not just with us lot, more people coming together, because the more people come together, the more stuff that's going to get done. Like as with the foundation, we get people come to us. I'll pass them on to Keeley. I can now pass them on to Courtney. I can pass them on to Band of Brothers. And that's what it's all about. It's not about. There's too many people out there that want the glory for themselves. Like everything they want to do. They want to do this, that, and keep it all in. It's not doable. No. And frankly, it's not worked because we're still losing kids.
Yeah. So, and if we work as a whole together,
big time,
then you can deal with the whole. So when you go and deal with a child who's been stabbed or something like that, and you go in the home, when you get in the home, you're finding mental health issues in there, you're finding all sorts of things. But I'm there to help the son. But what do I do with the mum, dad and the brother? But this way I can pass the parents on to them, I can pass the son on. We're going to work as a unit so that we deal with the whole when we go.
And like I said, doing it on their own is not, trying to do it on their own has not worked. So
hasn't worked. So
there's no I in team.
No, exactly.
Keep number one.
Just like to say thank you to Courtney for getting in touch, and I'm looking forward to the event on Friday night.
I'd just like to say thank you to Courtney for
all night on Friday.
Hopefully together as a community we can make a big change. But they have to remember my main charity, which I don't want to forget, Dr. Thomas Connick, for trying to help my son. I've made the London Air Ambulance my main charity.
Awesome.
Because I just want to carry on saying thank you to him for what he did for my son. Wonderful. And I'm very, very grateful.
Wonderful.
So he's my little angel, Mr. Thomas Connick.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
you know what? If you're going to say thank you to me, then I have to say thank you to you for even believing in the vision. And you know what? Believing in vision, but then being even vulnerable to come and meet me and go. Because as we was discussing earlier, there's unfortunately some organisations there that have an alternative motive. And you know, Rebecca was straight, like, tell me what you're about. So I like that. I like the upfront. I like to know that we know where we stand. So thank you for that. And so that's it.
Wow. Well, what can I say? Wow. It's been a very. I'm impressed. I am humbled to be a part of this because I can see and envisage it getting much bigger than what it actually is. Everyone moving in the same direction, and everybody's looking for the same objective in terms of enabling and helping our young people and communities at the same time. So we need visionaries for that. So thank you, Courtney. You know, I would like to say thank you to my guests, Courtney, Keely, Rebecca, Keely number one, Jessica, for just for the time. This is the Kwame McPherson show, and it's been a very wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.